Hello, everyone. We are very happy to welcome you all to the fifth and the last session of our Extensions 101 webinar series. Thank you for traveling with us throughout this series, and we are glad to have you here for the final session as well. We hope that we were able to provide the necessary insights and clarify your doubts in our previous sessions. We aim to accomplish the same in today's session as well. So, in today's session, we will explore how to create an extension for the product Zoho Projects. I'm Nandita and I also have Lavanya with us during this session. We are from the Zoho Marketplace team and we will be taking you through today's webinar session. If you encounter any difficulties or have any questions during the session, you can post them in the chat window and we'll address them. Or if there's anything in particular that you require immediate clarification with respect to the ongoing topic, feel free to unmute and raise your query. So with this information said, let's get started with our session. On our last session, we checked out the scope of desk extensions, the features that can be availed through a desk extension, and then we finally concluded with a use case demo of an extension built for Zoho Desk that demonstrated an integration between Zoho Desk and Zoho Projects. In today's session, we will explore building an extension for Zoho Projects in detail. So the agenda for today is as follows. We will see an overview of Zoho Projects and its features. We will then look at how building extensions for Zoho Projects can be beneficial along with examples. Then, we'll go over the steps involved in creating an extension for Zoho Projects using the Sigma Cloud Editor, and we'll also explore the features of Sigma Cloud Editor. Finally, we will conclude with an example use case demo. So now let's get into these topics one after the other.
Zoho Projects is a cloud-based project management software that allows you to plan projects,
track progress, collaborate with your team, and accomplish your project in a smooth and efficient manner. It has a variety of features that help you organize and complete your work with ease, from managing your task and time to administering the users. So with Zoho Projects, you can easily plan, track, and complete your project and tasks effectively. So now let us look at when and how building extensions for Zoho Projects can be beneficial. So in general, extensions can be created for the below scenarios. You can create extensions to either enhance the existing functionality of Zoho Project by emphasizing its core features, or you can also create extensions that integrate with other applications to ensure seamless data transfer and handle third-party operations from within Zoho Project itself. So there are two scenarios where you can go ahead and build extensions. One, you can build it to either enhance the existing functionality of Zoho Projects by accentuating its original features, or you can also integrate with other applications to handle data transactions seamlessly and also handle your third-party operations from within Zoho Projects itself. So now let us look at few examples to understand the benefits of building extensions. Consider the following circumstance as the first example. Assume you are a developer who uses Zoho Projects to manage all of your development-related operations in the form of tasks. Say, you also use a file management application to securely store and categorically organize your data in folders. As a developer, you are likely to handle a variety of files when working on a task, such as code snippets, help documents, or service level agreements. Manually categorizing and uploading the task-related files to category-specific folders in the file management application would be a time-consuming and a laborious process. However, how simple would it be to integrate the file management application with the Zoho Projects so that you can easily categorize and upload files to the file management application from within Zoho Projects itself? Well, this can be easily achieved with the help of an extension. You can create an extension that lists the folder categories available in your file management application within the task details page of Zoho Projects. You may then effortlessly upload the files from Zoho Projects to their respective category specific folders in the file management application. This helps you save time and be more organized. As the next example, let's consider a live and existing extension in Zoho Marketplace, which is similar to the file management example we just saw. So the extension Google Drive for Zoho Projects is an existing Zoho project extension in Zoho Marketplace, which showcases how easy it is to link an application with Zoho Project for seamless data transfer and to handle all of your operations from one spot rather than jumping between applications. So this is an integration between Zoho Projects and Google Drive that allows you to add folders in projects and then associate that folders with Google Drive. Similarly, it enables users to attach Google Drive files to Zoho Projects with a single button click from within Zoho Projects itself. This simplifies the user's work by uploading files from Zoho Projects itself rather than having to import all of their files into Zoho Project and then manually associate the relevant files to a task. So now that we have an idea on how building extensions can enhance the existing functionality and provide added benefits to Zoho Projects, let's move on to the next topic and see how to build an extension for Zoho Projects and test it through a Zoho developer platform. So as we discussed in our earlier sessions, Sigma is the exclusive Zoho developer platform for building extensions. So let's get into Sigma and create a new extension for Zoho Projects. So I'm going to enter into Sigma and I'm going to choose the workspace that I wish to access. So once you enter into Sigma, you will land on this page. Here you can see a few sections available in the left panel, which were briefed in our earlier session on building extensions for Zoho Desk. Today, let me provide a quick brief on the connections and the extensions section, which we will be using as part of a use case demo later in the session. So first is the connections section. So this connection section plays a major role in integrating applications with Zoho Projects. So whenever you want to connect a third-party application or another Zoho product with Zoho Projects, you can simply go ahead and create a connection for that application. So let me go ahead and show you how you can create a sample connection for Zoho Projects. So in order to create a connection, we'll have to choose the service for which we are building the connection. So I'm going to choose the service Zoho Projects, and then you'll have to choose your Zoho project portal for which you want to build the connection. Since I currently have only one portal, I've chosen that portal over here. And then you can see that there are default services and custom services option available under the services list. So in the default services, Sigma by default offers a set of applications or a list of applications that you can go ahead and directly connect Zoho Projects with. So if the application that you want to connect with Zoho Projects is available in this default service list, then you can simply go ahead and click on that application and create a connection between Zoho Projects and that application. Well, if the application that you want to connect with the Zoho Projects is not available in this default list, then Sigma also provides you with the custom services option where you can go ahead and create a service, that is, create the application for which you want to build connection with Zoho Projects, and then go ahead and connect that application with Zoho Projects. So for our today's demo, in our use case, we are going to handle a connection between Zoho Projects and Zoho CRM. So let me now go ahead and create a sample connection between Zoho Projects and Zoho CRM. So in this default services list, you can see that there is a Zoho OAuth option available, right? So whenever you want to integrate Zoho projects with another Zoho product itself, then you can go ahead and use this Zoho OAuth option. So Zoho OAuth option is available when you want to integrate Zoho projects with another Zoho product itself. So let me click on Zoho OAuth and then click on this create connection button. So since we are going to build an integration or connection between Zoho projects and Zoho CRM, let me provide a name for our connections. And you can see that the connection link name has automatically populated. We then have this toggle option for use credentials of login user field. So if this toggle option is kept as yes, then when the user is installing your extension, then they'll have to provide their login credentials in order to access this connection. If you keep it as no, then the admin credentials alone are sufficient in order to proceed with accessing the connection. So I am going to go ahead and keep the option as yes. After providing these details, we'll have to enter or choose the scopes that we want as per our use case requirement. So since we're going to connect with Zoho CRM, let me provide a scope relevant to Zoho CRM over here. So I've just included one scope for our sample demo. So after choosing the scopes as per your requirement, you can go ahead and click on this create and connect button. So you're asked to connect. So click on this connect button. And then you'll be prompted to choose your Zoho CRM environment that you want to connect with Zoho projects. So choose the environment and click on submit. You're asked for consent in order to use your CRM data. So click on the accept button to provide consent for using your CRM data. So once you click on accept, you can see that the connection has been successfully created. So once your connection is created with the required scopes, a sample code will be automatically populated. So you have a JSON tab under this sample code, right? So this JSON code which is available over here is what we will be using in our plugin manifest.json file while building the extension for Zoho projects in order to use this connection as part of our extension. So now we've just seen how we can create a connection between Zoho projects and another application. So the next thing is that we will see how we can go ahead and include this code as part of our extension while we are discussing our use case demo. So now we've completed this connection section. So we've had an idea about how we can create a connection. So let me go to the next section that we wanted to discuss. That is the extension section. So in this extension section, you will be able to see all the extensions that you've created so far. Also, you can view your published extensions under the publish tab and the extensions that are in the development stage under the draft tab individually. And when you want to create a new extension for Zoho projects, you have this new extension button available over here. So since we are going to next go ahead and see how you can create an extension for Zoho projects, let's click on this new extension button. So let's provide a name for our extension. Followed by a description for our extension. So you have to choose the service for which you're building the extension. Since we are building it for Zoho projects, I've chosen the service as Zoho projects. Over here, we have a toggle option to upload the existing file while building an extension. So in our earlier sessions, while we saw building extensions for the products CRM and Desk, for CRM, we saw that while we are creating an extension, we'll be redirected to an entirely different Zoho CRM developer console where we can go ahead and build our extension. And when we saw for Zoho Desk, we saw that we had an option to create an extension through ZCLI, which was a Zoho Extension Toolkit command line interface. So you can build an extension through the ZCLI, pack that extension, and then the zipped file that you get out of packing the extension, right? that zip file you can go ahead and upload through this browse option while building your extension for Zoho Desk. So similarly for Zoho projects also, we have this upload existing file option wherein you can use ZCLI to build your Zoho project extension, pack it, and then the zipped file can be uploaded through this browse option in order to create your extension. But additionally, Zoho project offers another option where you can choose the no option and then click on I agree to terms and conditions and then proceed with create. So if you click on create, at this instance, you will be redirected to the Sigma Cloud Editor wherein you can go ahead and start building your extension. So since for Zoho Desk, we already saw the approach of how you can build an extension through the ZCLI, let's take the other option available for Zoho projects, which is building an extension through the Sigma Cloud Editor. So I am going to choose the no option for upload existing file and I've chosen I agree to terms and conditions. Now I'm going to click on create. So you can see that this is the Sigma Cloud Editor, which automatically populates you with a folder and file structure that is required for a sample Zoho project extension. So just in the way how you create an extension through ZCLI, when you create an extension through ZCLI, an automatic folder and file structure is populated that is required for an extension, right? So similarly, the Sigma Cloud Editor also populates you with a folder structure and the files that are required for a basic and a sample Zoho project extension. So let's see the files that are automatically populated through the Sigma Cloud Editor. So we have this plugin manifest.json file, which is the main file that helps you to configure your extensions. So this plugin manifest.json file holds certain keys and keys which are as part of the configuration of your extension. And when an extension is created through the Sigma Cloud Editor, by default, this file holds a widget. So you can see that there is a widget key available over here with the name as projects extension in the location task tab. So the default location of the widget is the task tab. There are multiple locations that are supported where widgets can be loaded in the Zoho projects extension, but the default location is given as task tab. So when you create an extension through Sigma Cloud Editor, a widget is created by default with the name projects extension in the location task details tab. And this URL key, right? This is supposed to be the location of the HTML file of your widget UI that you want to render. So you can see that inside the app folder, there is an index.html file that is given as the location for the widget UI. So this was the app folder, right? Inside this, you have this index.html file. So the Sigma Cloud Editor has automatically created an index.html file which holds the widget UI that needs to be rendered in the task details page. So now we've seen how we can create an extension for Zoho projects. So after an extension is created for Zoho projects, there is an option provided by the Sigma Cloud Editor to test your extension functionalities in a testing environment before you publish it and install it in your Zoho projects portal. So let's see how you can test your extension functionalities in a testing environment. So this run option, right? This is provided by the Sigma Cloud Editor, wherein when you click on the run option, you'll be taken to the developer's Zoho projects portal where you can go ahead and test your extension functionalities. So when we've created an extension through Sigma Cloud Editor, by default, there was a widget called projects extension in the task details tab, right? So now we've come to a testing environment that is a Zoho projects portal. So let's click on a task, enter into a task. So these are the different tabs that are available as part of the task details page. And you can see that a tab called as projects extension has been populated over here. And when you click on the projects extension tab, the widget UI has been rendered as part of this task tab. So this was the widget UI that was present in the index.html file while by default, while the extension was created through the Sigma Cloud Editor. So in this way, you can create an extension for Zoho projects and then test your extension in a testing environment before you publish it and install it in your Zoho Projects portal. So once you finish testing your extension, you can simply go back to the Sigma Cloud Editor and click on this stop option. So we've seen one important section, that is creating an extension and testing your extension in a testing environment. So the next thing that we'll be seeing is publishing your extension and installing it in your Zoho Projects portal. So now let's see how you can publish a Zoho project extension and then install it in a Zoho Projects portal. So once you finish with your extension functionalities, you can click on this Save All button that is available over here. And after you click on the Save All button, you can move to this extension section again. So if you enter this extension section, you can see or view the extension that you created for Zoho Projects now. So Zoho Projects in CRM demo was the extension that we had created. So we have an extension details button that is available as part of the extension. So if you click on that extension details button, you will be prompted with the publish button. So you can click on this publish button. And then when you click on publish button, you will be prompted to either choose to publish your extension privately or publicly. So if you publish your extension privately, you will be provided with an installation URL that you can go ahead and share with the users whom you want to use your extension functionalities. Similarly, if you choose public, then you will be prompted to enter the company name and few other details that are required by the marketplace approval team. So once you provide those details, the approval team will validate your extension functionalities. And if the validation is successful, it will be gone ahead and listed in Zoho Marketplace. So for our sample demo today, we are going to go ahead and publish our extension privately. So I've chosen the private option and I'm going to click on this publish button. So you can see that the extension has been published. So let's go back to this extension details page and you can see that the installation URL has now been populated. So let's click on this copy link and go ahead and install this particular extension as part of a Zoho Projects portal. So I'm pasting the installation URL link in a browser. You will be prompted to choose the Zoho Projects portal where you want your extension to be installed. So I'm choosing a portal and I'm going to click on the continue button. So one important thing to remember while you're publishing your extension privately and sharing it with a Zoho Projects portal user in order to use your extension functionalities, right? You can see that you're prompted with a message called extension inaccessible. It looks like the extension is not shared with the portal yet. So when you want to other Zoho Project portal users to go ahead and use your private extension, you will have to go ahead and share that extension through your Sigma itself. So let's move back to Sigma and you can see that when you click on this publish button, this share tab would have been populated. So if you click on share, there's a share extension button available over here. So if you click on the share extension button, it will prompt you to enter the portal name and the admin email address of the portal with whom you want to share your extension. So if you're publishing your extension privately, in order for the extension to be used by another Zoho project portal, that extension will have to be first shared through Sigma. So now let's go ahead and provide the portal name and the admin email address of the portal that we want to share this extension with. So once you provide these details, click on the share button. So you can see that the status is approved and this extension has now been shared with this particular Zoho project portal. So now let's go back to our Zoho projects portal and refresh this link. So you can now see that the message has disappeared and we are displayed with the installation page of the extension. So this was our extension that we have developed, right? So now we prompted with the extension installation page where we have to go ahead and provide some general details. So you're asked to choose if you want this extension to be installed across all the projects in this particular portal or only specific projects. Let's go ahead and choose all projects. And then user accessibility is the visibility to which profiles and roles you want this extension to be visible. So I'm going to go ahead and provide all profiles and users. So once you provide these details, you can go ahead and click I agree to the terms of use and then click on save and proceed. So you can see that the extension that we have created has been installed as part of this Zoho Projects portal. And if you click on that particular extension, you will be able to view the version and the locations or the widgets that are available as part of this extension. So for the sample extension that we had created, right, through the Sigma Cloud Editor, we saw that a module called as, a widget module called as projects extension was available in the task details tab. So that widget location has been populated over here. So now let's see if that widget is appeared or included as part of our Zoho Projects portal. So let me go inside a particular task. And you can see that the projects extension widget has been included in this Zoho Projects portal as well, and the widget UI has been rendered. So in this way, you can go ahead and publish your Zoho Projects extension and then install it in your Zoho project portal and test your extension functionalities. So we've covered how we can create an extension, test it in a testing environment, then publish your extension and install it in a Zoho Projects portal. So now we've seen all these steps. We are next going to go ahead and see how building an extension serves useful with the help of a use case demo. Okay, so before we enter into the use case demo to see how building extensions serves useful, there's one important topic that we need to cover. So let me go back to my presentation. And let's cover the section on JS SDKs. So Zoho Projects offers certain JS SDKs that help your JavaScript widget code to communicate with your extension. So let's go inside this link and explore those JS SDKs. So these are the JS SDKs that are offered by Zoho Projects, which hold the Zoho Projects API bundle. So you can use these JS SDK methods while building widgets so that your JavaScript widget code can communicate with your extension. So while building your extension, if widgets are included as part of your extension, then you can go ahead. Zoho Project offers you these JS SDK methods which help your widget code to communicate with your extension. Also, as a prerequisite that is mentioned as part of this documentation itself, while you're building your widget code, it is required to use this CDN URL in order to call or invoke these JS SDK methods and communicate with your extension. So while you are building your JavaScript widget code, in order to use these JS SDK methods, you will have to include this URL as part of your widget code. So the thing that we wanted to cover, the section that we wanted to cover, that is JS SDKs, is now completed. So now let's go ahead and enter into our use case demo. So consider you're a sales representative handling cases in Zoho CRM. For certain cases that turn up as either feature request or product issues from customers, an immediate solution cannot be provided as the request will have to be analyzed and then implemented. For those cases, let's say you've created tasks in Zoho Projects so that you can analyze and proceed with implementation. Now, while using Zoho Projects, how convenient would it be to view all your open cases in Zoho CRM along with their statuses from within the Zoho Projects settings page itself? This will help you to easily prioritize and keep track of your open Zoho CRM cases based on their status and work efficiently. So our use case is that we are going to connect Zoho Projects and Zoho CRM. So assume like a sales representative who's handling cases in Zoho CRM. They come across cases which are of the type feature request or product issues. So for these kind of cases, an immediate solution could not be provided by the sales representative. So the sales representative, takes these type of cases and logs it as a task in their Zoho Projects portal. So it would be really easy if while the sales representative is handling Zoho projects, they could view all their Zoho CRM open cases from within the Zoho project settings page itself, so that they can easily keep a track of and manage all their Zoho CRM open cases from within Zoho projects itself. So this will reduce the manual work of switching between applications and also, help you be more organized. So in order to achieve this particular use case through an extension, there are certain components that would be required, right? So let's go ahead and see those components that are required to achieve this use case through an extension. So there are two things that we would require majorly. One is the connection. So we'll have to establish a connection between Zoho projects and Zoho CRM, and then we'll have to create an extension and then set up our plugin manifest JSON file and our widget code in order to display the Zoho CRM open cases inside the user Zoho projects portal. So we've already set up these components for our use case demo so that it's easier for us to show the output functionality. But we'll go ahead and show you the setup that we've done for achieving this particular use case. So the first component that we would require is a connection, right? So we have to establish an authorized integration between Zoho projects and Zoho CRM. And for that, we've created a connection using the connection section in the Sigma. So let me go back to Sigma. And in this connection section that we had discussed earlier, if you choose the service as Zoho projects and choose your portal, so all the connections that you've already created will be under this My Connection section. So there is a connection called as Project CRM, right? So this is a connection that I've created for our use case requirement with the scopes that are required for our use case. So after I've created the connection successfully in the method that I had discussed earlier, the sample code, JSON code, is populated over here. So this is the JSON code that we will be using in or configuring in our plugin manifest JSON file as part of our extension in order for this connection to be accessible in that extension. So the first component setup, that is the connection between Zoho project and Zoho CRM, is established and ready. The next thing was setting up our widget code, right? So let me go back to my presentation. And as part of our widget code, we have included certain JS SDKs that are required to achieve our use case requirement. So before I show you the code setup, let me brief you about the JS SDKs that I've used as part of the widget code so that it is easier for you to understand while checking out the widget code. So the first JS SDK method that we've used is the init method. So this init method will initialize your extension. So this init method is mandatory in order for the other JS SDK methods to be invoked as part of your widget code. So only after your extension is initialized, the other JS SDK methods can be called and invoked in your widget code. So we've used init method, and then we've secondly used get current user JS SDK method. So we want all the Zoho CRM cases which have their case owner email ID as the email ID of the current Zoho project portal user's mail ID. So for a particular user who's using CRM and Zoho projects, we want only their open cases to be listed as part of their Zoho projects portal, right? So in order to do that, we'll have to do this criteria match. And in order to do this email ID criteria match, we will require the Zoho projects portal current user's email ID, right? So in order to fetch that, we can use this JS SDK method, which will return the current Zoho projects users details from which we can fetch the email ID. So for this purpose, we have used this JS SDK method. And then finally, we have used another JS SDK method, which is the request JS SDK method. So Zoho projects provides you with this request method, which helps you to invoke third-party URLs. So we already create connections to establish a smooth integration, right? So after you've created the connection, in order to invoke the third-party applications URL, so in our case, in order to invoke Zoho CRM REST APIs, we can use this Zoho projects request method along with the connection that we've created so that the API will be invoked and the response will be returned for us. So there are few details that we require from Zoho CRM for our use case. Namely, we require the CRM org details, and then we would also require the CRM case details. So in order to get these particular details, we have gone ahead and used the request method. So these are the three JS SDKs that we've used as part of our widget code, namely init, get current user, and request. So now that we have an idea of the JS SDKs that we've used, let me go to my widget setup and explain the code functionality. So I'm going back to Sigma, where I've already created an extension called as test CRM and project extension in the method that we had discussed earlier. And here in the plugin manifest.json file, we have done certain configurations that are required for our use case requirement. So here, this connectors, right? This connectors key that is present in this plugin manifest file will have to be provided with the value in order to have a connection accessed as part of your extension. So the the connection that we had created between Zoho projects and Zoho CRM, once we created it, we saw that we got a sample JSON code, right? So that JSON code will have to be provided as the value to this connectors key in order for that connection to be accessed as part of this extension. So that value is what we have provided for this connectors key over here. Then we have this whitelisted domains. So when you're integrating applications with Zoho projects, certain API calls will have to be made to the third-party application, right? So in order for those calls to not be blocked and carried out smoothly, those domain calls will have to be whitelisted over here. So the CRM API domain has been provided over here so that that domain is whitelisted and the API calls can be carried out smoothly. And then as per our use case, we want a module like a widget to be created that displays all the Zoho CRM open cases inside the app settings page of Zoho projects portal itself. So I have created a widget with the name as CRM cases in the location app settings. So as I mentioned earlier, there are multiple locations where widgets are supported in Zoho project extensions. So for this particular use case, I have chosen the app settings location, and the URL is the URL or the location of the HTML file of the widget UI that needs to be rendered. So I have provided or I have created a index.html file inside the app folder itself. So inside the app folder, I have the index.html file which will hold my widget code in order to display the Zoho CRM open cases inside my Zoho projects portal. So our index.html file holds the widget code. And when we saw about JS SDKs, we saw that as a prerequisite, we required the CDN URL to be included as part of our widget code in order for the JS SDK methods to be invoked and used. So I have included that URL over here initially, and then we have used this Zoho projects init method, JS SDK method, as I had mentioned, in order to initialize our extension so that the other JS SDK methods can be invoked and used. So after initializing our extension, the next thing is that we have used the Zoho projects get current user in order to get the current Zoho project users details from which I have fetched their email ID and kept it in a variable called as current user email. So this was the functionality of get current user. Then we saw that we have an important JS SDK method which is Zoho projects.request, which will invoke our third-party application URL, that is in our case the Zoho CRM REST APIs. So in order to invoke this Zoho projects request method, 3 parameters will have to be passed to it. So the first thing is that you'll have to pass the URL, that is the API that needs to be invoked as part of this request method, right? That has to be provided as the URL for this particular request method. So I provided the Zoho CRM REST API that we require. So we wanted to get the org details and the CRM case details. So first I used the Zoho CRM org API and provided it as the URL, and that URL is passed as the first parameter to this Zoho projects request method. The second thing is that if there are certain data constructions that are required to invoke this particular Zoho CRM API, then those data constructions can be handled, and that variable will have to be provided as the second parameter. So in order to invoke our Zoho CRM REST API, certain headers are required. So I have constructed that as a data, and that particular parameter I have passed it as the second parameter to the Zoho projects request method. Finally, we have to provide the connection name that we have created. So in the plugin manifest JSON file, when you provide the sample JSON code, right, for this connectors key, there will be a parameter called as the connection link name. So this connection link name will have to be provided as the third value or the third parameter in order to invoke your Zoho projects request JS SDK method. So once you provide these three details, the request method can be invoked, which will invoke your third-party applications API, that is our org details API, and return us with the org details. So from the response, that is the org details that are returned, I have taken only the org ID and saved it in a variable called as org ID. In the same way, just like how we saw for invoking the Zoho CRM org details API, we have constructed and use the Zoho projects request JS SDK method to invoke the Zoho CRM case details API as well, which will return us the case details from which we have taken few details, namely the subject, case number, then the case status and the case owner's email. So the major criteria that we wanted to handle, that is, for a person who's using CRM and projects, only the cases which have the case owner email ID as the email ID of the Zoho projects user, right? That will have to be matched so that their cases alone are populated in the Zoho projects portal, right? So for that, we require the case owner email as well. So that criteria has been done over here. So we've used the if condition to see if the current user email ID, that is the Zoho projects user email ID, and the case owner email ID are the same. So that is one if condition. And we also want only our open cases to be listed over there so that we can keep track and start work on them. So all the, for the cases that are not in the closed status and the cases that have this criteria match, they will pass through this if condition, and then the returned cases alone, that is the cases that satisfy this criteria alone, are constructed as a list. So in our particular screenshot, while we saw the output, we want the open cases to be provided as a list, and there's also a redirection URL that is given over here so that if in case the user wants to view the case details, they can click on this redirection URL and move to the Zoho CRM case details page. So in this particular section, we have gone ahead and created that list of Zoho CRM open cases from the returned data of this if criteria. So this is our widget code functionality, widget code setup in order to achieve our use case requirement. So once we've done all these particular, widget code setup and the plugin manifest JSON as part of this extension, we've also published this extension and installed it in our Zoho projects portal so that we can show you the output functionality. So the publishing and the installation has been done with the method that we discussed before. So this is the output that we have achieved for our particular use case requirement. So if you go to this setup page, wherein under marketplace installed apps, you will be able to view the extension that you've installed. And if you click on it, this CRM cases is the widget that we have created. So the widget location is the app settings, right? So we have wanted the widget to appear in the app settings page of Zoho projects portal. So this is the app settings page wherein a widget called CRM cases that we had created is loaded along with displaying all the Zoho CRM open cases with their statuses over here. So this is the example and the topic that we wanted to cover today on creating extensions for Zoho projects, testing it, publishing it and installing it in your Zoho projects portal. Hope you found this information helpful, and thank you all once again for traveling with us throughout these entire 5 sections of Extensions 101 webinar series. Thank you all once again.